Hi everyone, we're back obviously, and today we are talking togetherness. It's a huge topic right now to address with the year we've all had. I know that many are still not together, and I feel sorry for that situation, but the fallout has been tangible. We know that being together is so important. And in my book, Design Smarts, the Design Smarts, the acronym of SMARTS, the T is for togetherness. I believe it is one of the most important chapters. I think the mindset, attitudes, togetherness, and spirituality really formulate the basis for all the other acronyms. And so we are talking about this today. This year will have many fallouts. This because of the lockdowns and quarantines and all of that. My intent is not to have a political statement. We all have our beliefs about it. But history will judge the wisdom of how we handled the pandemic. All I'm talking about today is the result, the effect, the fallout of not being together. Being a woman of faith, I have read the verse many times before this year in Hebrews that says, "Let us not cease from gathering and being together as many have." God is so smart, isn't he, to know that it is really important. We're supposed to be, we need each other to be together. So as we move forward to reestablishing our connections, I want to reinforce to you all that there's more to it for our aging gracefully than merely being together. Rowe and Kahn, in their books, they have written many on aging, but the essence, they believe the three most important foundations for aging, longevity, health, and whatnot are their three M's: to move, to manage, and to mingle. Now, to move is our lifestyle, exercising, getting out there. I'm going to go out later if the weather cooperates. And manage is everything. Manage our time, manage our health, manage what we eat, manage our spaces. It has to do with everything. But mingle is specifically about being together. In his book, Roger Landry, Live Long, Die Short. This is a great book. It's probably still available, but there's so much in here on life. But this is a guide to authentic health and successful aging. And what he says is the greatest indicator for health and longevity is the quality of our relationships. That says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, we can do all these other things, but if we don't have quality relationships and are being together, it affects our health. And we know this because of the fallout that's happened this year with, I won't go into the tragedies of whether they're young or old. And I'm not talking about fatalities. Well, yes, in some cases. But this is a huge issue that we need to absorb and understand to process. This is important. What is lacking in a lot of people's lives is connecting with others. You know, we can all look like we totally have everything together. whether it's our persona, our countenance, but yet I have learned and observed over years of living experience that many people have the facade on the outside, but they're very lonely on the inside. I experienced it in moving. It wasn't that there weren't people around, but I lost my tribe. I lost my identity, and all that I've written about. Yeah. That's done. But it affected me emotionally. That then affected my physical. So I understand this. And the point is that we often become self-absorbed in our own to-do lists. And in my four and no more, that means our inner circle, rather than reaching out to other people who may look like they have it all together, but really could use a friend. That's one aspect. There's so much of this. But part of what I want to talk about today is the giving back. This chapter, it's your legacy. It's what you'll be known for. I could go on and on about my mom and all the things she and my dad did way up almost to their 90s. And it had nothing to do with, being in the spotlight or anything like that. They were generous givers with their time and energy and some money, but mostly their time and their energy. And so I want to share with you a little story about Megan Mary, my oldest granddaughter, when she visited us in Wichita. She was about 15 years old. She has inherited this gift of this heart of generosity to others in just the heart, being out of herself. And as a teenager, this is remarkable. Many people go to their graves, sadly, and are all inward. Me. So here's the story. Lola Showalter Parsons was a really hip, sassy, fun lady my mom's age. And I worked for Lola, and she was sharp as a tack, sassy, just like my mom. And so she and Megan developed this really sweet, funny relationship. Fast forward when Lola had to go to a nursing home. Megan visited her many times, several times actually, maybe not many, but several at least. And the last time she visited, she told me, Megan said, Mimi, we have to go get flowers. And I said, oh, sure. I thought she meant flowers for Lola. No, Mimi, I want flowers for everybody in the nursing home. And I was like, okay. Now, this was summer in Kansas. We were having a hot spell. It was over 100 and something. So every time you're in and out of your car, you're like melting. But for Megan, hey, and what she wanted to do for Lola, no problem, right? So we go to, where'd we go? Sam's, I think, that have all those big bouquets of flowers. We got, I don't know how many dozen. So we go back and we give Lola hers first, of course, and then Megan and I proceeded to go to the cafeteria and hand out what we thought would be enough. Well, there wasn't enough. And Megan would not let it go. Mimi, we have to go back to Sam's. We have to get more flowers. Did you see their faces? I said, honey, no, they won't understand. They were sad. So we got more flowers, and by then lunch was over out of the cafeteria. We had to literally walk around the nursing home, knocking on doors to see who had a flower and didn't. Point being, how precious is this story? This young child at 15 knew how special this was to share and make others happy. If we could all learn that lesson, wouldn't it be such a nicer place to be? Yes, of course it would. That's a rhetorical question. So, in closing, there's so much more to say about this, and I do want to say a lot more, but to keep our posts not so lengthy, let's just examine, introspect what our motto really means, you all. When we say we do more for ourselves so that we can be more for others, what does that really mean? It means, you know what it means. I've talked about it ad nauseum. It means we take care of ourselves so that we have the energy and the chutzpah and the motivation to be out there for others, not our own little baby world. The happiest people are those that are with other people and giving, giving to other people. So as I close this what I think is a short but important podcast to you all, I would love to know your reactions on this year and how you plan on doing it differently now that things are changing. And I hope this spurs you on to think about people around you and how you may make their lives brighter with just, I mean, if Meg and Mary at 15 can do this to the nursing home, it beckons me to think about doing it even in my small world. I know there's people around me that could use a little TLC. So, hope you all have a great week and keep it together. Bye-bye.